Hey guys, so I just want to do a little bit of a chit chat video. My baby's sleeping. Hopefully he'll be sleeping for the next couple of minutes until I'll finish filming, because my husband just left. He's got a little bit of an errands to do, and actually he's working. He's a masseuse. If you remember, I used to tell you about what he does. He actually has a client in Ashdod today, so he left for an hour, and I'm here with the baby. Everything's ready, food is ready. I have mushrooms in the oven. Sorry for the noise. And I just put the baby to sleep. Actually, the name of my boy is Mark. So yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to put a video or something, or a photo of him during this video. Maybe I'll insert some, intro or outro for this video, because I wanted to film this little spot that we found in Ashkelon, in the city that we live in. We actually found this really beautiful, amazing sunset view that I wanted to film for you. So maybe that will be in this video. If not, maybe the next. But today I just want to stitch a little bit of my oriental beauties, so I'll try to do that. I have a little bit of a problem with the location of my camera. I don't know what you are seeing, and hopefully the camera will not be way too shaky, because it's actually standing on my frame, so hopefully it will not shake too much. I don't have any idea where to put it yet, so I am trying to find a location for filming. I am trying to film, but that's not something that's working very well for me, because he's really needy right now. He is 2.5 months old already. How time flies. And he is really like a handful. I mean, he's very good boy. He's amazing. He's really smiley, but he really likes to be in my arms. Let's say that. So he's really like, pick me up, mommy, I want to be with you. So I don't have a lot of stitching time unless somebody takes him away from me, my husband, of course, or my mom, or if I just put him to bed and nobody's home, which almost never happens, because my husband doesn't work as much anymore with the whole coronavirus, so he's usually home with me. And if he's not, and he works nights, as you know, he has to make some extra money leaving, because we do need to eat. But I am not working, so he is the only provider right now, and there's a big problem with his profession, like masseuse therapist, because they do not work a lot lately, and unfortunately that's that's what's happening right now. I don't know what is going to happen next, because I don't want to leave the baby with a caretaker or anything. I just want to be with him. Too many stories about people are getting hurt. Babies get hurt. A lot of kindergarten teachers, or I don't know how you call them, that are hurting babies. There were a lot of issues with not molestation, God forbid, but bad people and bad things happening to little babies. So yeah, so I changed my thread, sorry. Anyways, what am I planning on talking in this video about? I'm actually not going to talk too much about cross stitch. I just wanted to have a little bit of chit chat, because I don't talk too much lately. I just stay home. I'm a stay-at-home mommy for now, at least. I asked about if you wanted to just talk about babies, and hear about my birth story. So let me just tell you some stuff about how everything happened, because it was really not what I expected. Well, it wasn't what anybody of us expected. First of all, with the whole coronavirus, I didn't even think that they will let my mom be there, like in the room with us, but they actually let her, and she was with me almost the whole time. My husband was with me as well. We actually went in for a regular checkup. I was on my 40th week. It was the end, like, well, it was my full term, but I didn't have any like signs of birth. I didn't have any contractions. I didn't have my water break. I did not have any signals that the baby was coming. So just a routine checkup after week 40 is in the hospital. So considering that I was on a high a high sugar levels, so I had to be careful with my sugar. And I heard that women that have pregnancy diabetes have to be induced. So I was hoping that won't happen, because I was really terrified of giving birth. I don't know if everybody experiences that, but I am a really scared and anxious person. So I was really terrified of the whole birth process. And well, actually my husband was telling me every time we went out of the house at my 9th month, he was actually trying to make me take my bags into the car, because nobody knows when it's going to happen. So yeah, so that day for some reason he actually persuaded me to do that. So I took my bags, he took my bags, and we took them into the car, and we went to the hospital in the morning on I think it was the 4th. I don't remember dates and stuff. I do remember when my baby was born, but we went to the hospital. So we were just sitting there waiting for a normal checkup. They took me in, they had an ultrasound done, and they had my sugar levels checked. And the nurse, she actually asked me, is it about my sugar? And it was in my case, but she came in and she told me, you're not going home today. You are staying in the hospital because you need to get induced, because you are on oh my gosh, you are on week 40, and that's the limit that they will let you walk around, because you are endangering the baby to be too big. And well, just they have this thing that they do induce at week 30, even like before that, but I didn't have any reason to do that, so my doctor did not send me to be induced, but they did tell me that happens. So I actually got so terrified. I started crying. It was really scary. And then the nurse came in. I'm sorry if there will be a little bit of stuff that you don't want to hear about. If you don't, that's fine. You can, turn it off. But yeah, she gave me a checkup to see if I have any opening, or how do you say that? And I did not have any. So she said that was okay, and the moment that we start Pitocin and induction and stuff, everything will be fine. And they actually asked me how I wanted to start this, because they wanted to give me a balloon. Well, she gave me a couple of choices. She gave me pills, like a choice of pills that I will like take a pill, and after like 30-40 hours we can see a difference or not. I mean, it doesn't even say that anything will change. So yeah, so that was one of the choices. And the other one was to be using props, so to be induced by a balloon, which I did understand it was really painful, but oh gosh, you do not know how much pain that is. Anyways, my husband was there with me, so he actually tried to calm me down because I started crying when they told me that I need to be induced. I started crying. I was so terrified. I was afraid of the whole process of giving birth so much because I have a really low pain levels. So I'm not really good with pain. So that's something that really scared me. But that's not something that I can avoid, of course. So I did understand that I cannot go home, though I didn't really want to stay there. I just felt like I wasn't ready, but then again, I don't think that I will ever be ready. So I just said, okay, fine, induce me. So they actually took me in. They brought me to the, birth department of the hospital, to the delivery rooms. And we actually had to settle in. My mom was there, my husband was there, everybody was happy, besides me, because I was terrified. And then the whole thing started happening because they had to start the induction. So eventually a doctor came and he needed to check me, and of course that was so painful because they do give you help using their hands to start the dilation and I did not have any dilation. So he said that he will start using a balloon, and he tried to insert the balloon, but I thought that I was being turned to killed on that table because it was so painful. I cannot even describe. I was really surprised that I could keep myself from screaming because I was sure that I will be a screamer, but I did not. I was crying and everything was really bad. Actually, I don't know why, but I asked my husband to go outside, and I wasn't happy about that decision eventually because I really needed him to be there with me. So that was the first checkup, and then eventually when they did insert the balloon, and that took a couple of minutes, really terrifying minutes, the doctor actually decided, oh, wait a minute, we don't need a balloon because she's already dilated. So the balloon didn't stay in. He actually fell out of the, womb. So yeah, so they actually realized that I was dilated and the balloon was not going to hold, and I had a 2 centimeters dilation. So that was basically nothing, but that was a start, so we were happy for that at least. And the nurses gave me epidural, which I really wanted from second one. They actually asked me if I wanted one. At first I said that it was okay, I was able to take it, but then when they came and checked me again, I actually said no, I want epidural because I cannot do that without, and that's really, oh gosh, that's really painful, and I do not think that I can take it. So yeah, so they gave me epidural, and that's something that gave me really bad anxiety. I actually was really anxious the whole time. I was really scared because the epidural turned off one of my legs. I actually felt like I didn't have a leg. I don't know if that's something that you're supposed to be feeling or if it's just supposed to be numb, but my leg actually fell asleep so much, my left leg, that I felt like I was losing feelings in my legs. So I was getting really anxious about that. I was really scared, and the only thing I could think of, I know that this is stupid, but I only thought that I will end up losing my legs. I don't know why I thought that, but I was sure that I will end up losing my legs and I will never walk again because I could not feel my legs. Anyways, that the only thing good about that epidural was that I did not feel any checkups that they gave me. They do say that I had contractions, like not a lot of contractions, but like smaller ones, and I did not feel them, so that's a good thing. But there was something wrong with the whole process. They gave me a lot of Pitocin, a lot of it. I was on birth, in the delivery room for 30 hours on Pitocin. Sorry, I need to check up my. Sorry, I forgot I had mushrooms in the oven. Anyways, everything's fine. Mushrooms are great. Now, where was I? They gave me a lot of drugs to start labor, and no matter how much Pitocin they gave me, nothing helped. I mean, I was there for, like I said, 30 hours, and for 30 hours, I had only 3 centimeters dilation. I mean, I did not progress at all. I did not sleep. Eventually, it ended up being really, really difficult because I was getting tired. My body wasn't my body wasn't responding as it was supposed to the drugs, and I was being given a lot of epidural because the nurses saw that I was really suffering. So the anesthesiologist, I guess, he came in like 4 times and he gave me 4 huge doses of epidural. Eventually he got a little bit angry at us because, well, he said that I wasn't supposed to get so much epidural. It was not good for me. So that's something that happened. Actually, the nurses said that I could add some in between, like the doses that I was getting, because if I was feeling too uncomfortable, I could have just gotten more. And that's something that we did as well, because the epidural had to, like, the effect of it was going away really quickly, and I was starting to feel really bad. So I took some more, like pressing a button. And plus, the anesthesiologist, he came in twice and gave me a shot of extra drug because I was getting really, really painfully uncomfortable. Anyways, eventually, no checkup, no like manual help, nothing helped. And a really amazing doctor came in. I mean, I was there for 4 shifts of midwives, so I don't even know which one of them was supposed to be mine. But a new doctor came in. He was really like Speedy Gonzalez, and he came in to my room and he asked the midwife if they checked the baby and if they measured him. Apparently, they were supposed to measure the baby manually, meaning they were supposed to figure if he was maybe too big for me, like too big, bigger than what they checked on ultrasound, because that's never like 100%. And they said that they didn't know how to do that. So he actually came to me and he said, okay, let's see the baby. And he actually grabbed him from the outside of my stomach. That was so crazy. I mean, can you imagine him like pressing on my belly and just picking him up by his back? He just had his back in his hands. That was crazy. I don't even know how to describe that, but seeing that he was holding him. Anyways, he said did you know that the baby was bigger than what you thought? I mean, they told us that they told us that his size was 3.5 kilos, but he said that he was much bigger than that. He said that's not right. So he checked me, and he actually was the only one who said that he doesn't think that I'll be able to give birth to him. Um, Not because he was too big. Um, I had a girlfriend that had a baby like a day before me, and he was 4 kilos, so he was a big boy. Um, Ours was a little smaller. Eventually, he was born 370. I mean, 3700. But he was too big for me, for my body. So he said he thinks that I am too small to have a baby that big. So he thinks that I will be really in trouble having natural birth. But if we prefer trying, that's fine. So let's keep trying. Anyways, eventually nothing helped. The drugs didn't help. One of the midwives ended up sitting me up, like putting the bed up. So I will be in kind of a lotus position, like sitting up or standing up while laying down on the bed. And that actually gave me so much pain. That's the point where I realized that, oh my god, it's too painful. I mean, the baby started coming down, and the fact that I wasn't dilated, it was really, really painful. I was really like, I wasn't screaming, but I was crying, and everybody was like sitting around me. My husband was holding my hands, but I don't know. Eventually, that doctor came in. I was asking for the nurse to come in and just lay me back down because I could not stand it anymore, especially considering that I had epidural. I wasn't supposed to be feeling so much pain, so that's something that was really weird for me, and I was really scared why I was feeling pain if having like 4 syringes of epidural in me. So eventually, again, that doctor came back, and he actually said, look, guys, if for the next couple of hours nothing will happen, we will take you to emergency C-section. First of all, because one of the nurses accidentally broke my water. She was actually checking me. It's, well, not a nurse, a midwife. She was actually checking me, and well, she broke my water. She's like, oops, broke your water. And I'm like, oh great, that's just perfect. Anyways, he said part of the reason that the baby is losing water, because not all my water broke. I mean, it was just leaking a little bit. And well, he said that nothing is happening, so we don't want you to suffer anymore. Plus, your fever is starting to go up, and we don't want to endanger you and the baby. So he said that they think that maybe a couple more hours will be enough, and then I will go to C-section. I really got scared, but I was still like, okay. And when he went out, I told my husband maybe we should just ask them to go right now, because I could not take it anymore. Plus, I did not think that couple more hours will change anything, because, well, I don't believe that if for almost 30 hours nothing happened, then it will now. So after a couple of minutes, actually we did not even get a chance to tell the doctor to, to take me in surgery. He actually came in with a couple more doctors, and I guess they had some conversation about us, and they said, we're not going to wait, we're taking you to C-section right now, because it seems like your fever is going up, and we do not see why so much drugs did not help. We don't want to endanger the baby, because he was getting a little bit distressed as well. He was working pretty hard. But I guess it wasn't his time to come out yet, so he didn't want to come out. So I got so scared in that moment. I was really, really tired. I was really, really not feeling good. I actually heard a woman, some new girl, come in, and she didn't get epidural, and she was screaming her head off. That's the first time from like this entire time that we were in delivery room that I heard a woman scream so bad. Anyways, they started to prep me and to like take me to surgery, and that was all happening so fast. I was crying like crazy. I don't know why. I was so scared. I was sure that I'm going to die. I was so anxious. And my mom actually says that I had so much fear in my eyes. I mean, I had these huge scared eyes that I looked like I was being taken to be like put to sleep like forever, because I was so terrified. And my husband wasn't allowed to come with me because that was an emergency C-section, and they do not give anybody permission to come inside. It's like an emergency regular surgery. So I was being taken alone. I was crying so bad. It's so embarrassing. The doctors were like all over the place, and they were trying to keep me calm and say that everything's okay, nothing's going to happen to you, but nothing was helping. So I was like terrified. I was so shaky. I was shaking like crazy. Anyways, eventually they started the surgery, and I guess from all the stress and the fact that I wasn't sleeping for so many hours, my battery actually ended. So I started falling asleep during the surgery, and that was crazy because I was falling asleep in such a weird way. I could not open my eyes. I could hardly speak. I mean, I was talking like I was dying. And the anesthesiologist that was standing in like beside me, I looked at him and I said, I think that I'm fading. I think that I'm fainting, and I cannot open my eyes. And he just looked at the machinery and he said that everything's fine, just go to sleep. And I was like, no, I can't go to sleep. I'm like fading. I'm afraid. Anyways, I was trying my best not to fall asleep, but I guess I did in some point, because I don't remember when they removed the epidural needle out of me, and I think that they bumped my finger on something when they were moving me or something. I don't remember when that whole thing happened. I just remember that I was well, I kind of lost a couple of moments out of this whole scenario. Eventually, what happened, it seemed to me that the operation, the C-section, lasted for like an hour. I was feeling the pushing, the touching. I did not feel the cut, did not feel anything bad, but I did feel the whole, them doing stuff to me, and knowing that I was cut up. I was just crazy and scared. Eventually, I heard somebody said, "Take him out," and I felt like somebody was kicking me from the inside. I didn't know what that was. I guess that was them trying to take him out. But in my head, he was just fighting them and not wanting to come out. I know that sounds stupid, but that's really what I was thinking in that moment. I thought that it was him pushing. So they did take him out, and then I heard like, "Congratulations, did you know that you're having a boy?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So they took him out, and she showed him to me, and I saw that she was holding something, but I did not see anything at all, because they actually took him right away. Not because anything was wrong with him, he was perfect. He was actually taken to my husband. But I mean, they had to finish closing me up because it was, again, it was an emergency C-section, so it's being done like a normal operation. So they took him away, and I realized that I did not hear him cry. So I was getting scared again. I started crying, and I asked the doctors, why isn't he crying? I mean, what's wrong with him? Is he okay? And the doctors actually said, of course he's crying. Aren't you hearing him cry? And I actually did not hear him cry. I don't know how that's possible, but I did not hear him cry. I just heard the doctors talk, and I didn't hear the baby. So that's something that's really strange to me. I guess I had some kind of a selective hearing. After that, I remember I was being taken out of the surgery, and they took me through the waiting room so I can see my husband and my mom. And they actually had my baby with them. They had the baby with my husband was holding him, and I really wanted to see him, so he was trying to show him to me, but he was all covered in blankets, so I could not see anything, and I kept asking my mom if he was beautiful. I actually asked her, is he beautiful? Is he beautiful? And she said, he is so beautiful. He's amazing. He's like a little doll. So yeah, that's something that happened. And then they took me to the recovery room where the nurse was supposed to give me some painkillers and let me just rest for a couple of moments before I go back into the ward. But then she said that the epidural is supposed to be already fading out, so you're supposed to be able to move your legs. So turn around so I can give you a shot of painkillers. And no, that's not something that was happening because, well, I actually realized that I cannot move my legs at all. I mean, I could move only from my chest up. The whole bottom part was all like numb. It wasn't numb, I just wasn't feeling it at all. It's like I didn't have it. So my sorry, I just trying to color my chart on Saga. Anyways, she said turn around. I said I cannot move at all, and I could not move at all. So she said that's fine. Maybe the epidural is still not faded at all. So that's that's another story, because I ended up thinking that I was paralyzed. Maybe they actually did something to me that paralyzed me, because I could not move. I could not move my legs, and that's really scary, terrifying. So yeah, so I told her that I was afraid. I actually told her that I really was falling asleep, and she said, okay, then go to bed, go to sleep, and when you wake up, we'll take you to see the baby. But that's not something because I actually asked her something really stupid. I mean, not asked her. I said that I was afraid to fall asleep because I was afraid that I won't wake up. I know that it sounds so stupid, but I just, this whole experience, it was so difficult to me. I don't know why, but something in me was like going nuts. I had so many bad thoughts. I was so terrified. I guess I wasn't ready for this whole scenario to happen that way, and the fact that I was so anxious about birth at all, it drove me like nuts. I was thinking stuff, like crazy stuff. I was feeling that I'm not going to survive this. I know that it's just giving birth, I know, but for some reason this whole experience wasn't something that I was expecting, and it really came, oh gosh, look at this. It really became really difficult to me because I wasn't expecting it to happen that way. So yeah, but what can I do? Nothing, I guess. So eventually they took me, I woke up, they took me into the ward, they brought the baby to me. Everybody was there, my mom, my husband, well, everybody, two people. They never left me alone. I was in the hospital for 2 days because of the coronavirus. They do not let you stay there longer, and they actually send me home after 2 days. So my mom was staying with me at night because they didn't let my husband stay, and my husband was filling in for her during the day, so he always was with me through the day. So I was never there alone. Thank God. Thank my mom and my husband. I love them both. They really helped me through this. If not them, I would have gone crazy. But yeah, I'm not going to go into the whole feeding stuff because I do not breastfeed. It didn't work. He had a tight tongue, and it was really difficult for him to suck on the nipple. So I'm actually feeding him Materna. That's baby's food. But he's fine. He's chubby and he's healthy and he's amazing, and he's the most beautiful baby in the world. I think he's like a Huggies baby type of baby. He's like a little bit of a model baby. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm his mama, but I just feel like he is the most beautiful baby out of all the babies that I've seen. I did have some difficult time after I came home. I was feeling really bad physically. It was really hard. First month, I was getting really depressed. I actually had a postpartum depression. Thank God it did not have anything to do with the baby. I mean, I did not say no to him. I was doing everything I can to pick him up, even though I could not stand up. I knew that I had to pick him up and I had to feed him and I had to take care of him. So that's something that happened when I went home. I was really depressed. I took it really hard. I had really bad thoughts. It's actually, I don't know if I should say this, but for those of you who have not given birth yet, that's something that happens, and sometimes it's even worse. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Thank God for me, it passed by itself. I mean, I had a lot of help. My mother stayed with me for the first month, and my husband stayed with me for 2 weeks. So I wasn't alone. I had a lot of help. But don't be afraid to ask for help, because it's really delicate time. Babies are really hard for the first period of their life. They need a lot of attention. If you are after surgery or if you are after a very hard birth, it's really depressing. So I actually had postpartum depression. I didn't even think that's something that can happen to me, but it did. So I was crying the whole first month. I was crying morning till the morning after about everything, about the way that I physically felt, about how I looked, about how I was a bad mother, about how I wasn't able to breastfeed him, about everything. I even had a point where, it's really embarrassing to say, but I had a point where I started thinking that maybe I had a mistake having a baby. Maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe I wasn't able to, take care of a baby. But thank God, everything passed. Everything is okay now. We are all into one another. We love him so much. He's amazing. It still is hard, and I think it still is going to be, but it's much easier than it was the first couple of weeks because I'm physically better. I'm able to walk around better, and everything is going back to normal, slowly but surely. So we are taking care of a beautiful baby boy and planning to have another one in 1 year, because I'm not supposed to get pregnant for a year after this surgery. So we'll see how everything will end up happening next time. I think that next time I will go for a C-section, but planned one, because I want my husband to be there. I want the surgery to go as much, as fun as it can be, because I know that planned C-sections are not that scary. Plus, you can have a member of a family with you. They give you the baby after they take him out. So that's something that's really important, and I am really hoping that the next experience, hopefully I will be able to experience a baby again, will be much better. So that's about like most of the story. I don't want to go into too much details, because I don't know how much more time I have until my baby boy is waking up. I need to go check on him, by the way. I mean, I do know that he's sleeping, he's quiet. He actually likes to sleep on his side today. So he is a really good sleeper and eater, of course. He's already 6+ kilos, and he is not even 3 months old yet. So he's a good, chubby, good, beautiful, smiley little kid. And we love him. Everybody loves him. I was waiting for him for 10 years. Can you imagine? I was having IVF treatments for 10 years before this little miracle came in. So yeah, it's an amazing experience having this little boy in my hands. And sometimes I don't even believe that I'm his mama. So that's something that is, amazing, and how nature is working, and how doctors today can help you achieve something that once, maybe even in my mom's time, would have been considered impossible. So today it is, and never lose hope. Never. If you want something, especially if you want to have kids, never lose hope, because I think that it's so important, because every time that he smiles to me, I mean, I think that everything is going away, every bad thought and feeling, because he is so perfect, and he's a little miracle. And even though it's really frustrating sometimes, and it's really hard, and I cannot stitch as much as I did before, and I could not, I couldn't. But I do try to stitch as much as I can, and thank God my husband understands that, and sometimes he even says that, just go stitch a little bit, I'll sit with the baby. That's great, and thank God for him too. And that's about all. I mean, I'm not going to go into whole feeding problems things that we do have. I mean, did have, not anymore, because he is fed by, again, not by breast milk. I don't know how to say this in English, but it's fine. He's healthy and fun, and everything's great. So don't get sad about that. I was really sad about not being able to breastfeed him, but eventually I took him, and it's much better today. And yeah, basically that's about all that I wanted to tell you. I hope that I was able to film this, and I'm just not talking to myself this whole time just to delete this video, because I don't even know what I'm filming. I tried to put my camera over this, but it was really difficult for me, because I don't really have a very comfortable spot to film yet. So we'll see if maybe I will find one, if I'll keep filming, of course, like this. I can't do this very often, so what can I say? Anyways, again, hopefully you were able to see what I was doing and hear what I was talking about, because it would be really, really sad if I was just talking to myself for like, I don't know how long, and then I'll have to delete this. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye. I am not filming much about stitching right now, and I'm not going to do crafty weeks as much because I just don't stitch as much. Once I have something interesting to show you, of course I will be filming, and of course I will be updating you, but I don't think that I'll be calling it crafty weeks because I'm not going to film every day. Once I have a little bit of a progression in a project, I will show it to you again. So I will try to film as much as I can. Again, I don't have much opportunities to do that because of the baby, but I try. I really try. I really have fun filming. I really have fun talking to you. I am so grateful for your good wishes. I mean, it's so amazing. It's so good to hear the feedback that I get from you guys. And I know, I don't know what to say. I mean, I read some of your comments to my husband, and he said that, wow, that's so amazing that people that are so far away are so supportive, and that's great. So thank you guys so much for watching me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for great wishes for the baby, and I am so grateful for you. So again, thanks for watching. Give me thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're interested in seeing more projects. I am planning on stitching as much as I can, and hopefully I'll be able to do it more and more as time goes. And that's about all. Oh, like, press the bell below to be notified when my videos come out, and if you are able, donate. I have a donation button down below in the info box, and I have a donation button on my banner on my main channel. So that's something to help the development of my channel, so I'll be able to purchase new stuff. Hopefully you will have some wishes so you can, ask me for something, and then I can purchase and show it to you, or even stitch it for you. So that's something that can help my channel grow, because I do not have a lot of means right now to waste on, well, not waste, but take out on cross stitch and stuff like that because of the baby and because of the virus, and my husband is not working as much as he used to. So that's something. So yeah, guys, I love you all, and I will see you in my next video. Hopefully it will be soon enough, and hopefully you were able to see what I'm stitching right now, because I'm not sure that I was filming it right. So I'll see you again soon. Bye bye, have fun stitching, and have a great week.